A very good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Dr. Varun Narayan Misra. Today, I am going to discuss about the role of image resolutions in urban remote sensing. How the resolutions of satellite images are useful in urban and regional planning. So today's topic is very important and very useful when we talk about the use of satellite images in urban and regional planning. First, I would like to start with the design of remote sensing technique. Okay, so the remote sensing is a clear definition of the problem and information needed, the evaluation of the overall potential of remote sensing, the identification of appropriate remote sensing data and acquisition procedures, determination of the data interpretation and analysis techniques, identification of the criteria by which the quality of information can be evaluated. So these are the design of remote sensing effort. Remote sensing are designed to achieve these objectives or these efforts. Now this is the entire mechanism of remote sensing. You can see here remote sensing needs a, you can say, the medium. Okay, so sun's radiation or so solar radiation is a kind of it's a kind of electromagnetic radiation that can be used to be detected by the sensor. Okay, so the remote sensing sensors, generally the sensors mounted on the platform, either it is a spaceborne platform or airborne platform. The platform having some sensor receives or sensor detects the electromagnetic radiation which is reflected back from the earth's surface feature. Some part of the electromagnetic radiation is absorbed by the earth's surface, and the part of the electromagnetic radiation which is reflected back by the earth's surface, which is received or captured by the sensor which is mounted on the platform or satellite. Okay, after getting the energy or after receiving the electromagnetic radiation, the second step is the processing. The energy received by the sensor is pre-processed and it will be converted into some digital products, or you can say it will be converted into pixel values or pixel numbers. So in the next step, these pictorial representation of the detected energy or satellite images can be visualized, can be analyzed for different kinds of applications. Okay, so we retrieve the information from the satellite images using some qualitative or quantitative methods, and then it can be used or it can be utilized for several applications. Okay, so resolution. Today's topic is about the role of resolution in urban remote sensing. So there are four kinds of resolution that can be used in remote sensing technology. First one is spatial resolution, then spectral resolution, radiometric resolution, and temporal resolution. When we talk about spatial resolution means it's a kind of it's the ability of a sensor that how small an object do you need to see, that is a pixel size, and how large an area do you need to cover the area on the earth surface, that is known as swath width. Okay, then second type of spatial resolution is that spectral resolution is a second kind of resolution, which is a part of the spectrum do you want to measure, what part of the spectrum, what part of the electromagnetic radiation you are going to measure, and how you are going to use different spectral bands or different spectral wavelengths for different purposes. Okay, so the spectral resolution means how many spectral bands of the electromagnetic radiation or how many wavelengths of that electromagnetic spectrum will be measured for various applications. It is known as spectral resolution. Third one is radiometric resolution. Radiometric resolution means how fine or how easily a sensor can detect or sensor can quantify the change in the energy. Okay, how finely a sensor do you need to quantify the data? If there is a slight change in the energy, so how fine a sensor can detect the slight change in the energy which is received by the sensor after the electromagnetic radiation interacts with the earth surface feature. And fourth one is temporal resolution. Temporal resolution means how often do you need to look. Okay, if you want to observe, if you want to capture the image of the same area multiple times, so this is known as temporal resolution, means how many times you need to observe the same area at how much interval, means 10 days, 20 days, 15 days. Okay, so there are four kinds of resolution: spatial, spectral, radiometric, and temporal resolution. Now moving to next slide. So what is the difference between detection, discrimination, and identification? It is very important to know how you call it as a detection or detected energy, how you when you will call it as a discrimination, and when you call it as a identification. So detection means the spectral signal from the object or the real world object or any Earth surface feature of interest is above the background noise. There is some kind of signal is there. Okay. Okay, though the spectral energy or the energy which is coming from the earth surface after interaction with different earth surface objects, earth surface features, which is received by the sensor, it is known as detection. Discrimination means the spectral signal from objects of interest is detectable and also different from surrounding features. Okay, so here you can easily discriminate two objects on the basis of their spectral response, because each and every object, each and every earth surface feature having different spectral response, having different spectral pattern. Okay, so how you are going to discriminate two different kinds of objects, two different earth surface features on the basis of their spectral response or on the basis of the signal received by the sensor. Third one is identification. Identification means the spectral signal whose spectral response or spectral pattern can be discriminated and uniquely attributed to a specific type of biophysical surfaces or material or any real world object. Okay, so I can positively identify the feature. Detection means the amount of the signal coming from the object. Discrimination means the discrimination of different objects, and identification means to identify the specific feature or specific object on the basis of their unique spectral response or on the basis of their unique spectral pattern. So these are three important terms. You need to understand the difference between detection, discrimination, and identification. Okay, now moving to the next slide. So I am going to describe in detail about the spatial resolution. The spatial resolution is a kind of, it's the ability of a sensor to discriminate two close objects. How good a sensor is to discriminate two close objects is known as its spatial resolution. Spatial resolution having a term that is instantaneous field of view that is used to determine the dimension of the earth surface. Okay, and the ground resolution cell, which is known as GRC, which is imaged on the ground. So two terms are very important in case of spatial resolution: IFOV and GRC. Yeah, so how small a GRC do I need? Ground resolution cell is very important in terms of spatial resolution. So in a scanning system or during the scanning of Earth surface, during the image acquisition, the ground resolution cell or GRC is similar to the concept of ground sample distance, which is also known as GSD in digital cameras. While not always strictly true, the GSD and GRC are equated with the pixel size of the image which is projected onto the ground. So there is no guarantee that you will be able to discriminate objects that are the same size as the GSD, which will depend on where the pixels fall in relation to the object of interest. Here in an example, you can see object having same size as GSD but doesn't dominate any one pixel. Okay, this pixel is having you can say it's a kind of ground resolution cell GRC and the ground sample distance GSD. So the object having the same size as GSD, but it cannot be dominated any pixel. So you need to know how small ground resolution cell do I need to detect an object on the earth surface feature. Now moving to the next slide. So what is the general thumb rule for GRC? What is the general thumb rule for the identification of object? So basically the ground resolution cell should be less than one half the size of the smallest object of interest. Okay, or you can say which at a minimum equals to 4 pixels for simple square objects. So here in an example, you can see these are the pixels. These are the you can say the representation of the images having pixel sizes. So here you can see the blue pixel, blue area. Blue area is a kind of ground resolution cell that should be less than one half the size of the smallest object of the interest. For identification purpose, will often need to be much smaller, that is need multiple pixels within the object. So this is the way in which we can use ground resolution cell, or we should know the minimum size of the ground resolution cell that will be utilized, that will be used to identify smallest object of interest on the Earth surface feature. Now moving to the next slide. Yeah, this is the image showing the difference between 1 meter ground spatial resolution per pixel and 1 foot ground resolution spatial per pixel. So you can see the difference. Okay, when we are talking about, or when we are using 1 meter GSD or 1 meter spatial resolution pixel, having the images having 1 meter spatial resolution pixel size. Okay, when and in another image there is a 1 foot ground spatial resolution per pixel. So you can see the differences. You can see the amount of details in both the images. Okay, so this is the same image of the area. This is the image of the same area with two different spatial resolutions. One image is at 1 meter ground spatial resolution per pixel, and second image is at 1 foot ground spatial resolution per pixel. So in this way, we can start at the digital orthophotography, or you can say the we are having now most of the sensors having very high detailed information with good spatial resolution. Now we are having the images less than 1 meter spatial resolution, 0.5 meter spatial resolution images are available in the market, so that you can get the detailed information about the real world objects or Earth surface features. Okay, so how small a GRC do I need? So in this figure you can see, in case of mixed pixels, when the two pixels are mixing with each other, if the spectral response of two pixels are mixing with each other, in this case the size of GRC is very crucial. Okay, so in case of mixed pixels, more than one land cover classes in the GRC. Oh, okay. If GRC is very small and the pixels are mixed with each other, two pixels having same spectral response, and if they mixed with each other, okay, in that case you will get some erroneous information. So can you identify the rectangular objects in the Iconos images? Yeah, this is an example of Landsat TM image having 30-meter pixels per GRC. The boundary is on Iconos 4-meter pixel image backdrop. Okay, you can see this yellow line is showing the boundary on Iconos 4-meter pixel image backdrop, and the Landsat TM 30-meter pixel per GRC boundaries. So you can see how small a GRC do I need for the identification of a real world object on a satellite image. Okay, so this is the another example of showing the spatial resolution. Now spatial resolution is keep improving. We are getting better spatial resolution images. Okay, here you can see, here initially we are having 64-meter spatial resolution images, after that 32-meter spatial resolution images, then 16-meter spatial resolution images. So spatial resolutions are increasing day by day. There is a tremendous development in the spatial resolution of the satellite images. We are having now a spatial resolution of around 0.5 meter. So you can see the spatial resolutions are increasing day by day. There is a growing development, and now with the growing spatial resolution, we are having more detailed information about the urban area or any kind of landscape feature, any real world object on the Earth surface. Okay, so this is the comparison between different spatial resolution images. You can see here the first image is showing the spatial resolution of 4 meters, second image is showing the spatial resolution of 2 meter, and the third image you can have the spatial resolution of 1 meter. So you can see the difference, you can see the details in three of the images. Okay, you are getting more detailed information when we look on the 1 meter spatial resolution images in comparison to the 4 meter spatial resolution images. Okay, so with the increasing spatial resolution, we will get more detailed information about that urban area. So this is a highly urbanized area. These images are showing a area which is highly urbanized. Okay, and for getting better detailed, for getting detailed information about each and every building, roads, and even you can also identify the moving vehicles on the road using the 1 meter spatial resolution images. So for getting better or improved information, detailed information about an urban area, we should now move to high resolution images around 1 meter or less than 1 meter. So this is the comparison of the images having different spatial resolutions of 4 meter, 2 meter, and 1 meter. Now moving to the next slide. Yeah, here also you can see, or you can visualize the details of the images having three different spatial resolutions: 1 meter, 3 meter, and 10 meter. Okay, when we see 1 meter spatial resolution images, each and every building is very clearly identified, very clearly you can easily demarcate the boundaries and other urban features. In 3 meter, it is moderate kind of information is there, but when we see the image of having 10 meter spatial resolution, so it is not possible. It is very difficult to identify the boundaries, very difficult to identify the shape and size of different urban features or urban classes. So this is the role of spatial resolutions, how the spatial resolution is important in identifying different urban features, in identifying different urban land cover features or land use features: 1 meter, 3 meter, 10 meter. So when we use high resolution satellite images of 1 meter or less than 1 meter, so it is very easy, it is very much useful to identify the boundaries, shape, and size of different urban features and urban classes, any kind of building or any flyover roads and anything, any urban structure or infrastructure in that urban area. Okay, so this is another example of the role of spatial resolution in identifying any kind of real world object. So these images are ultra high spatial resolution images. Now you are observing the images of having 60 centimeter spatial resolution and 15 centimeter spatial resolution. Now the images are available up to 15 centimeter. So you can imagine the details. You can imagine how much good details these images will have if we talk about 15 centimeter spatial resolution. So it is very important and very much useful in identifying different urban features, different urban infrastructures. Here in example, when you compare the two different ultra high resolution images at 60 centimeter and 15 centimeter, so you can see the details. You can see the details about the aeroplane is standing in an airport, and you can have the detailed information, shape and size of the aeroplane when we use the ultra high resolution images of 15 centimeter in this slide. Okay, now second important type of resolution is the spectral resolution. Okay, so in simple term, spectral resolution means slicing of the electromagnetic spectrum. When you slice the electromagnetic spectrum or electromagnetic radiation into different wavelength intervals, so the sensor is able to identify different wavelength intervals or different spectrum ranges. This is known as the spectral resolution. Okay, spectral resolution means it's the ability of a sensor to identify or to discriminate different wavelength intervals or different spectrum of the electromagnetic radiation. If we talk about Landsat 7 images having spectral resolution of 10, it means these images are able to discriminate and to identify these 7 spectral bands starting from blue, green, red, NIR, short wave infrared, mid wave infrared, and so on. Okay, so the number of spectral bands, the number of electromagnetic spectrum, the ranges of electromagnetic spectrum identified by the sensor is known as spectral resolution. It's a slicing of the electromagnetic radiation into small wavelength intervals, into fine wavelength intervals. That is known as spectral resolution. Okay, so this is an example of showing the Landsat image, Landsat TM image. Okay, this is the Landsat TM image of Miami, Florida, acquired on 15th March 1988 with path 15 and road 42. Okay, so as we know that Landsat TM having 7 spectral bands. 7 spectral band means the sensor, which is thematic mapper sensor, is able to detect 7 wavelength intervals or 7 spectral ranges of that electromagnetic radiation. So here these 7 bands are visible, blue, green, red, infrared, that is you can call it as a near infrared, then mid infrared, and mid infrared and thermal infrared. So there are total 7 bands. So in case of thermal infrared band, it is considered as a thermal remote sensing, but The bands related to the visible and near infrared is considered as a optical remote sensing part. Okay, so Landsat TM sensor is able to detect seven wavelength intervals of the electromagnetic radiation. So this is the image. This is the you can say this slide is showing seven different spectral bands, seven different wavelength intervals that is acquired or captured by the Landsat TM sensor. This is another example of Landsat TM 7 bands of 8-bit data. Okay, so spectral means where we look, and radiometric means how fine we can measure the return energy, return signal. Okay, so the radiometric resolution is the ability of a sensor to discriminate the slight change in the energy which is received by the sensor, whereas the spectral resolution is the ability of sensor to identify, to detect wavelength intervals. But how fine we are getting that energy, how the sensor is able to detect the slight changes in the incoming energy, either it is blue, green, or red, is known as radiometric resolution, which is very important in urban and regional planning. Radiometric resolution is directly related to the number of bits, or you can say the number of gray level numbers in a satellite image. When we talk about 8-bit spectral resolution, radiometric resolution images, it means it is able to identify 0 to 255 gray levels or gray scales in that image. Okay, so this is an example showing how the spectral wavelengths is spectral response of dry bare soil, vegetation, and water. So the chlorophyll absorbs large percentage of the red and blue for the photosynthesis process, and strongly reflects in green wavelength. Okay, whereas the peak reflectance in leaves in near infrared, that is up to 60% of infrared energy per leaf, is scattered up to or down due to cell wall size, that is shape, leaf condition, that is age, stress, or disease. So the reflectance in mid-infrared, that is around 2 to 4 micrometer, that is influenced by the water content. Water absorbs infrared energy, so the leaves reduce mid-infrared return. So this is the figure in this slide. The spectral response of soil, vegetation, and water is shown at different wavelength intervals. You can see here vegetation is having high reflectance in near infrared portion of the electromagnetic radiation, whereas water absorbs all the radiation and only having a very small reflectance in visible portion of the electromagnetic radiation, whereas in case of soil it is having almost same linear reflectance pattern at different wavelength intervals. So this is the role, this is the way in which you can use spectral response or spectral resolution of a satellite image for getting information about different real world objects, real world features in an urban area. In case of urban green space mapping, in case of urban vegetation mapping, this kind of information is very much useful. Okay, now moving to the next slide. So this is the figure, this is the table of having Landsat TM wavelengths, Landsat TM wavelength intervals. Each wavelength interval provides different information about Earth surface features: band 1, band 2, band 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so band 1 having wavelength interval, wavelength range from 0.45 to 0.52 micrometer, band 2.5 to 0.60, band 3 is from 0.63 to 0.69, band 4 is from 0.76 to 0.90 micrometer, that is near infrared band. It will be very much useful for biomass and shoreline mapping. Band 5, that is ranging from 1.55 to 1.75 micrometer, it is mid infrared MIR band. It is very much useful for moisture content of the soil and vegetation, cloud smoke penetration on vegetation mapping. Okay, the 7th band is mid infrared, and the 6th band is about the thermal infrared band. Its range is about 10.4 to 12.5 micrometer. Okay, so this table is showing the number of bands, its description, and the characteristics and the utilization of that particular wavelength band for different applications. Okay, so the trade-off between the high spectral resolution generally has lower spatial resolution. So there is a trade-off that if you are having the satellite images having high spectral resolution, so generally it is having low spatial resolution images. So in case of 1 meter panchromatic image, it is having very good details, it is having good or high spatial resolution, but it is not having good spectral response or spectral resolution. Whereas in case of 4-meter multispectral images, it is having multispectral bands, it is having more than 3 or 4 bands, but its spatial resolution is not very much good in comparison to the 1-meter spectral resolution or 1-meter spatial resolution of the panchromatic band. So this is the comparison of the panchromatic and multispectral images acquired from the Iconos satellite. Okay, Iconos provides the images in 2 different modes. One is panchromatic mode or pan mode, that is having spatial resolution of 1 meter, whereas second kind of product provided by Iconos satellite is 4-meter multispectral images. Okay, so multispectral images having some less spatial resolution in comparison to the panchromatic band. Panchromatic band is having only 1 band, but it is having very good spatial resolution. While in case of multispectral images, it is having 4-meter spatial resolution, but it is having good spectral resolution in comparison to the panchromatic band of the previous image. Okay, so this is the way, this is a kind of trade-off between the higher spectral resolution with the lower spatial resolution of the satellite image. Okay, so this is the slide showing the radiometric resolution. The radiometric resolution is basically the sensitivity of a detector or sensor to differences in the electromagnetic radiation, the signal coming from the Earth's surface, its strength that determines the smallest differences in the brightness value that can be distinguished. Okay, so it can be discriminated on the basis of their bit information or gray levels, gray scales. Okay, it is determined by A to D of quantization. 6-bit means 0 to 63 gray levels, 8-bit means 0 to 255 gray levels, 10-bit means 0 to 1023 gray levels. So when we talk about radiometric resolution, its sensitivity will be very much useful to identify or to detect the slight changes in the wavelength or slight changes in the incoming radiation, incoming energy that is received or detected by the sensor. And the ability of the sensor in terms of radiometric resolution will be measured in terms of bit, and the formula for getting the range of that information is 2 to the power n. Okay, and when we are using 8-bit spatial 8-bit images, its spectral resolution or its radiometric resolution is 8-bit. It means there are having 0 to 255 gray levels or gray scale values of that image. Okay, so in case of radiometric resolution, the high radiometric resolution is especially important for quantitative applications such as sea surface temperature mapping, where the user wants to distinguish small differences in the temperature. In case of sea surface temperature, in case of identifying or mapping sea surface temperature, radiometric resolution is especially important for such kind of applications. Now moving to next slide. Okay, so the satellite remote sensing orbits give the repeat coverage. As we know that satellite is of 2 types, geostationary and polar satellites or sun synchronous satellites. Geostationary satellite is having constant view of the hemisphere. Its elevation is about 36,000 kilometers from the Earth's surface, whereas the elevation or altitude of the polar satellites are around 700 to 900 kilometers from the Earth's surface. Okay, so geostationary satellite and polar satellites, these are 2 kinds of satellites, and they continuously cover the entire Earth's surface. Okay, so this is known as orbital information. This is the orbital movement of the satellites around the Earth in 2 different modes: geostationary or polar satellites or sun synchronous. Okay, so when we talk about change detection analysis, so the ability to monitor the changes is one of the benefits of remote sensing. Using remote sensing technique, you can monitor the changes over the period of 30 to 20 years, 50 years. Okay, so for monitoring such kind of changes, for detecting the changes over a period of time, we need to have temporal resolution. Okay, because when we are having temporal images of the same area, we can easily monitor the human and natural changes in the landscape. And so this is the way in which we can use temporal resolution for getting the information about the changes over the landscape over a period of 20, 30, 40, or 50 years, 60 years, whatever the study period you want to study. For that, for this kind of change detection studies, we need to have temporal resolution. Temporal resolution is the ability of a sensor to cover the same area at some days or at a particular time interval after 10 days or 20 days or 30 days. That is known as temporal resolution. Yeah, this is the list. This is the table showing different sensors and their spatial, spectral, radiometric, and temporal resolutions. There are several sensors are now available. One of them are AVHRR, Landsat TM, Spot, IRS series satellites, Iconos, QuickBird, okay, and GeoVantage digital cameras. All the sensors having varying spatial, spectral, and radiometric resolution. Different sensors may have different temporal resolutions. Like a VHRR sensor is having 1 day temporal resolution, whereas Landsat TM is having 16 days temporal resolution. Spot is having 26 days temporal resolution. Okay, different sensors will have different characteristics, different properties in terms of spatial resolution, spectral resolution, radiometric resolution, or you can say the temporal resolution. Okay. So image interpretation and analysis is very important part in case of the utilization of different spatial resolution images for urban planning and urban mapping. When we are going to use satellite images for urban planning and urban mapping, so we should also focus on the image interpretation and analysis for getting or for retrieving the relevant information from the satellite images. So the strong trend towards GIS ready digital output products, the computerized image analysis can help to enhance and extract the information content of the imagery in a time efficient and cost effective manner for direct input to the GIS. So the computers cannot replace the human image analyst, though visual interpretation is still a valued technique. Okay, in comparison to the computer based image interpretation, visual interpretation is having more advantage, and it is very good, very useful technique. Okay, and many recent advances in image analysis software is now in past few years. So we are having good image analysis softwares, we are having very good digital image processing softwares for getting image interpretation and for retrieving the information from the satellite images. Okay, so the sensors or the you can say the camera or any kind of sensor, whether it is a hyperspectral sensor or microwave sensor or optical sensor. Sensor is a photographic image interpretation. So we can interpret the satellite images. We can interpret the images acquired from different sensors, whether it is in black and white panchromatic mode or black and white infrared mode, the color mode or color infrared mode. So we are having four different options. We are having four different kinds of images, and we can apply different image interpretation techniques, different image interpretation keys to retrieve the information from the satellite images, whether it is black and white or colored or false colored composite images of the study area. That is very much useful for urban and regional planning of that area. Okay, so this is the image which is stored on the photographic film, that is generally speaking that is sensitive to the electromagnetic radiation from zero point 0.3 micrometer to 0.9 micrometer. So panchromatic films produces the black and white images, is the most common type of film used for the aerial photography. In this image there is a hydrofoil ship, and the other big ship is tanker delivering fresh water to the island. So this is the black and white aerial photo of a area. It is showing very good details about the coastal region, having good details about the ships and other man-made structures near to the coastal area. Now moving to the next slide. Yeah, this is the image showing the comparison between color and false color composite images. Okay, so we are having the option to visualize our satellite images in natural color or false color, that is known as FCC. Okay, so the photography involves the use of 3-layer film with each layer sensitive to different ranges of the light. For a normal color photograph, these are sensitive to blue, green, and red light, or in wavelength intervals of the electromagnetic radiation. Accordingly, these photos to us the same way that our eyes sees the environment. The colors resembles those which would appear to us as a normal, that appears as a true color. Tree appears as a green, water appears as a blue, or any other feature will appear as a true color. So this is the way in which we can use natural color or false color images for different kinds of urban and regional planning practices. So this is the figure, this is the image showing uh, showing a certain urban area. Highly urbanized area is visualized in two different kinds of images. One image is natural color, second image is in false color. So you can see the details, you can compare the details provided by both the false color and natural color images. In natural color images, all the objects will be appeared as it is in their natural color, whereas when we use false color composite images, the vegetation will appear as a red and water will appear as a black. So this is the comparison of true color and false color, so that you can have the detailed information about different urban features, different urban classes of that study area. Now moving to the next slide. This is the color infrared, or you can say the false color composite image. Okay, in false color composite or in color infrared photography, the three emulsion layers are sensitive to green, red, and the photographic portion of the near infrared radiation, which are processed to appear as a blue, green, and red respectively. In a false color photograph, targets with high near infrared reflectance appears as a red, those with a high red reflectance appears as green, and those bands with a high green reflectance appear as a blue, thus giving us a false representation of the target. So this is the way in which we can visualize the satellite images into false color composite. Okay, and it gives us a false color representation of the target relative to the color what we normally perceive from in the real world. This is the color infrared image of a island, or you can say it's a kind of volcano that can be visualized in false color composite of a satellite image. So the image interpretation for multispectral imagery. When we are using multispectral imageries, and for that we need to apply different image interpretation keys, different image interpretation elements. As we know that there are 8 different image interpretation elements: shape, size, tone, texture, pattern, association, shadow. Okay, so in case of multispectral images, we also need, we should also take into the consideration of the resolution, stereoscopic ability, individual band interpretation, or the temporal data. So the resolution and you can say the temporal data set, temporal resolution, spectral resolution, spatial resolution, or radiometric resolution. These are very important parameters that needs to be considered when we are going for image interpretation of multispectral images. So this is the Landsat image of the Boston area. Boston is a highly urbanized area. This is one of the highly urbanized area of USA, and when we visualize that area on Landsat images using false color composite of Landsat image, it looks like shown in the slide here. This is another Landsat image showing the false color composite image of an area, and you can easily visualize, you can easily identify different earth surface features by applying different image interpretation or image you can say the key image interpretation elements, either shape, size, tone, texture, pattern, or association, to get the information about the study area. Okay, so this is the area of Saudi Arabia. This is the study area present in the Saudi Arabia. The image is acquired from the IRS listed sensor, and these circular features are showing the sprinkler irrigation system. Okay, in Saudi Arabia, for agricultural practices, they use sprinkler irrigation system. So these circles are showing the sprinkler irrigation system. The red color indicates the crop, and the dark color show the fallow land. So this is the way you can use the satellite images, you can use the false color composite images for getting the information about the cropland or fallow land, and it will also provide you the detailed information about the crop yield and crop covered area. So this is the image captured by the Indian remote sensing satellite with LIS-3 sensor. LIS-3 sensor is having a spatial resolution of 23.5 meter. It is having a spectral resolution of 4 Okay, and its radiometric resolution is around 8 bit. Okay, so this is a very beautiful picture showing how the remote sensing images can be used to identify, used to detect the sprinkler irrigation system, and the red color is showing the crop area, cropland, and the dark color is showing the fallow land. This is very beautiful picture. Yeah, this is the satellite image of Goa city of India. The image is acquired by IRS 1D LISTRI sensor. So Goa is the smallest urban area of the Indian Union, and it is in the west coast of the India, situated between Karnataka and the Maharashtra. So the eastern sector of the Goa is hilly and forms the northern edge of the Sahyadri mountain. This multispectral image is showing the Marmagoa and Tiswadi area of the Goa state. This image also shows the sedimentation in the river Zuari and the river Mandovi. The red patches are showing the dense vegetated areas, and the Debolim airport near the town of Vasco da Gama is also visible in the lower middle part of the images. So you can use a satellite image for detailed urban planning, detailed urban mapping. It also provides us the information about the vegetation, agricultural land, water bodies, and other earth surface features. So this is the satellite image of Sundarban area in West Bengal, acquired by IRS-1C wide field sensor. This image is acquired by wide field sensor of IRS-1C satellite. So the image is showing the east coast of the India and Sundarban area. The Bay of Bengal is dark blue, whereas water in the shallow area near coast are seen in the light blue color. The mangroves are seen in bright red color in the wetland areas. The river Hooghly is disappearing the sediments into the sea that can be seen very clearly here. This is also a very beautiful picture showing the utilization of remote sensing images, showing the utilization of satellite images required over a area for better information, for getting better or good details about the study area. This is image showing the part of Oman acquired by the sensor of Indian remote sensing satellite WIPS wide field sensor. The Gulf of Oman is seen here, and the mountains and the rocky terrain of the area are seen through the sensor that is mounted on IRS 1D satellite, and sensor name is WIPS wide field sensor. This is also another example how remote sensing images are useful for getting the information about or surface features. This is a highly urbanized area of Dhaka, Bangladesh, and it is acquired by the Indian remote sensing sensor, that is LIS-3 and pan chromatic band of that sensor. This image shows the part of Dhaka city and its environment. The features like stadium and city airport are clearly seen here. Okay, you can easily visualize the different earth surface features, or you can say different urban features. You can visualize the airport, you can visualize the stadium, you can also have the information about the roads and buildings. This is highly urbanized urban area, so these kind of information is very much useful for urban planning, for sustainable development of an urban area, when you are having detailed information about the urban area of any city or any part of the world. This is the satellite image of Rome area in Italy. It was captured by IRS-1C LIS-3 sensor with panchromatic band. This this is a part of Rome area of Italy, and the runways of the H-shaped airport can also be seen. This H-shaped part, the runway of the H-shaped airport can also be seen. So this is the airport. This H-shaped area is a airport of Rome, that is a part of Italy. Okay, this is another image showing the utilization of remote sensing in urban planning, when you can easily detect different urban features using satellite remote sensing. Okay, this is the multi-sensor images acquired by the Spot satellite. It is showing the road, river, the water bodies, topography, and different urban areas can be easily distinguished by these multispectral images or acquired by the Spot satellite. This is another example. This is another example of the utilization of remote sensing in urban and regional planning. You can easily identify different urban features, including the buildings, the roads, other vegetated surfaces can also be identified, fallow land, stadiums, any urban features, any urban area, or you can say different urban infrastructure can be identified, can be easily visualized by the multispectral remote sensing images. So in last, as a summary, we can see that the remote sensing must clearly define the information that whatever we need, and the analysis procedure and the considering of the four types of remote sensing resolutions, that is spatial, spectral, radiometric and temporal resolutions, are very important for considering the type of imageries to be used for different applications in case of urban planning, or you can say the regional planning, city planning, town planning. These kind of these characteristics of remote sensing images, spatial, spectral, radiometric or temporal, can be very much useful for detailed urban planning, detailed urban mapping, urban growth modeling, urban growth analysis, to identify the migration from rural area to urban area. Rural urban fringe can also be studied using these characteristics and these properties of satellite remote sensing, or the images acquired by the sensors of different types, whether it is optical sensor or hyperspectral sensor or thermal sensors. Thank you very much for today's lecture. We will discuss next topic in the next lecture. Thank you very much.